Hello, and welcome to the live stream. And check one, two. Just want to make sure I can hear myself. There we go. Welcome. You watching live production tips and tools, and this is your boy Sam. How are you doing? Today is another stream, and we are going to be having some fun here because we're gonna be taking a look at some of the stuff going on happening. I actually put on my hat here. There we go. Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about some of the stuff happening right now at already happened. Some of the stuff that just got released at NAB show. And of course, as always, if you have questions about live streaming and video recording in general, make sure you drop your questions in the chat for sure. But other than that, again, you're watching Live Production Tips and Tools. My name is Sam. Don't forget to hit that like button. That's very, very important. And if you're watching on the replay, welcome. If you're watching on a replay, welcome. You can always hit that like button, share the stream, and leave us a comment if you have something to share, if you have questions. But other than that, let me know if you're watching live. Let me know where you're watching from for sure. I would love to know. And yeah, let me know if you are into streaming for church, business, what you're streaming for, let me know, or simply recording videos, let me know down below in the chat or in the comment section. We're not gonna take much time as usual. We're gonna get straight to the point. Again, if you're watching live, let me know if you can hear me well and if the video is good. Of course, just want to make sure you guys get the best viewing experience for sure. But other than that, we're not gonna take much time. Again, today's stream, we're gonna try to focus on what's been going on, some of the new stuff that have been announced at the NAB show, and I'm excited about some of the stuff. Actually, I saw three main devices that kind of caught my attention that I want to talk about. We get two items from Rode. If you use the Rodecaster Pro 2 or Pro, the OG one, you probably kind of excited about the new products that Rode has announced. But other than that, we have another camera that was actually released by Hollyland. It's not released yet, but they talked about it in the show at the NAB show, and obviously we're gonna talk about that one as well. So let's not take much time. Again, if you have questions, you can drop them in the chat as usual. But other than that, we're gonna get straight to the point. We're gonna talk about the first device that really caught my attention. Okay, and this is from Rode. Okay, so we have a video here. Actually, one guy that there's a video that I'm gonna be reacting to. The guy was at the NAB show that that we kinda I'll be reacting to it, and actually we're gonna take a look at those juicy stuff from Rode. And there's a camera that was released, so you want to make sure you keep watching till the end of this live stream, because there's a camera that caught my attention that we're gonna be reacting to as well. And that camera, I think, is actually the future, and I think all the camera manufacturers should start making cameras like that. A good camera, it's a good idea, it's a nice camera, and the idea behind it, I feel like the streaming industry is going towards that idea. So you want to make sure you stick around, because we're gonna talk about it, and I'm super excited about that camera. Okay, but again, don't forget to let me know in the chat where you're watching from, and again, if you have questions, let me know as well. So let's go ahead and actually let me see if I can show you my screen right now here. We're gonna start reacting right now. This should be good. All right, so you guys can see my screen, no problem. And just want to make sure you can get the audio, and then boom. All right, so this is BNH page, okay? And we got this guy Gabe at the NAB show right now, and we're gonna listen to some of the products that were released by Rode, including the Rodecaster Duo. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually
Here with
check it out.
BNH. We're here at NAB 2023 on the show floor, and for my first video, I'm going to start with the Rode booth. Now, as a musician and a video creator, I'm always excited to see what they have, and it turns out this year they have plenty of new exciting products. So we're going to try to kind of do like a overview of everything that they have new. We're going to kick things off with the Rodecaster Duo, which is pretty much a scaled down version of the Rodecaster Pro 2. So the Rodecaster Duo brings back some of the key features of the Rodecaster Pro with Rode's Revolution preamps, two new trick quarter-inch XLR combo inputs.
So, okay, cool. This is exciting for people like me because I don't own the Rodecaster Pro. I don't own the Rodecaster Pro 2. One of the reasons why I don't own the Rodecaster Pro 2, honestly, is because of the price. All right, I could not justify paying $700 as a solo streamer because I stream by myself. So I don't really never have guests. I'm not a podcaster, but I need something like an interface for sure. I need an interface because I've got some XLR microphones here. Even this one that I'm using is an XLR microphone. So I need something like the Rodecaster Pro 2 or the Rodecaster Pro. Okay. And to be honest, if you have used the Rodecaster Pro or if you have heard or seen people using it, you know how good this thing is, right? But it's always hard. It's been hard to justify paying over or almost $700 for an interface, especially if you not, doing some sort of podcasting, if you don't need like all the four inputs. So I was looking forward to something that would give me exactly the same thing, exactly the same sound, but without really first of all, without having to pay $700. Second, without giving me four inputs because I don't need to pay for four inputs because I don't need four inputs. So this thing, the Rodecaster Duo, looks actually perfect for me because I got two inputs, which I can use one input. And sometimes you may have a guest or I may be testing maybe two different microphones. So it doesn't hurt to kind of have two inputs. All right, let's see. I think we got somebody in the chat here. We got Kuga Mini Soccer says we are in the business. Just go. By the way, thanks so much for joining. Says we are in the sports business for a side soccer, and we organized and host mini soccer events. We would like to live stream all our sporting event. Okay, cool. So do you need help setting it up or let me know. Let me know for sure if you need help, if you need some tips. Let me know. If you have questions, feel free to drop the questions in the chat. But other than that, welcome to the live stream. Appreciate you being here for sure. There's so many solutions when it comes to streaming outdoors. Get some tips for you outdoors for streaming outdoors events. So if you looking for solutions, I've got a few tips for you, again depending on your budget, how many cameras you have or how many cameras you want to use. Like so many options, mobile solutions starting from your phone and using things like the Yellow Box Pro. So many cool suggestions that I can actually give you when it comes to streaming sports or outdoors events. So let me know for sure in the chat, and let me know where you're watching from, by the way. All right, guys. So this thing, man, this thing looked like the perfect device for me or for a lot of people, because I know a lot of people who couldn't really afford the Rodecaster Pro 2 or the Rodecaster Pro. Remember, the Rodecaster Pro 2 could actually power something like the Shure SM7B, this microphone right here. All right, this microphone is super gain hungry, and not any interface can power or amplify this microphone. All right. To be able to use it with like regular traditional interfaces, you need something like this, which is a booster. All right, this is a booster that I got for it, and that's how you would have to use it, right? You can get something like there's a Fathead one, there's the Cloud Lifter or something like this. This is a different one that I actually rented out to try. So that's the thing. But with the Rodecaster Pro 2, you don't have to get an extra cloud lifter or an extra gain booster. So this is perfect for most people.
2 headphones output with dedicated volume control, 4 faders for easy mixing live, and 6 pads for sound effects and music. The Rodecaster Duo also has internal recording on an SD card like its predecessor and is a perfect option for podcasters with 2 speakers or solo podcasters who often have guests on set with them. The new exciting product that Rode has here is the RODECASTER Streamer X. So this is the first of its kind audio and video solution.
All right, let's talk about, before we get to the Streamer X, I want to talk about one thing about the Rodecaster Pro, the Rodecaster Duo. Okay, let's go to the B&H page right now, which should be there we go. So nobody knew how much this thing was gonna cost, because I saw other comments, people talking about, oh, how much is it gonna cost? Maybe it's gonna be $300 or $400. I don't think people were expecting to have this kind of pricing. And when I saw it on B&H, you guys can see the price now. It's actually ready for pre-order. $500, guys. $500. Let me know what you think in the chat, in the comment section. But I feel like, in my opinion, this thing is good. It's like the Rodecaster Pro. Okay, everything. The only thing you're getting less inputs. You're getting 2 inputs instead of 3 inputs. Instead of 4 inputs. But looking at the price, I was super excited, but when I saw the price, I was like, oh no, Rode, come on, Rode, come on. I feel like $400 is it's a little bit too much, just a little bit too much. I feel like it should have been priced at around $350, 400 max. $350 was gonna be the perfect sweet spot for most people, in my opinion. 300, because if you want to make something affordable, it's like making another version of the Rodecaster Pro 2 that's affordable for most people. $500 is not affordable, I mean, compared to $700. So I think $350 was gonna be the perfect price for this thing. Again, I can't speak for Rode. I don't know how much it costs to make this kind of stuff, but I feel like $400 is a little too much. I mean, $500 is a little too much. You know, the tribe said, or inflation. Okay, the tribe says maybe the price will come down. You know, so maybe the price will come down. I don't know, but for now, I feel like 500 is too much. I think 300 was like the perfect pricing. Max, maybe charge $400, because I was ready to buy one for sure. Like, to be honest, I was ready to invest in one, at least for creating content or testing some stuff. I got an interface here, the Vocaster one, and it does a great job. It has only 1 input. It can power my Shure SM7B, no problem. So I just feel like, Rode, if you want to make an affordable device, please, not $500. I know I sound so negative, but I'm just trying to be realistic. So maybe I'll be the only one saying this. I don't know. Everybody has their own opinion, so I understand. But I feel like 500 is a little overpriced. But other than that, this is an exciting device. So let's see what we have in the comment section before we go to the Streamer X, because that's another futuristic product that I was expecting. I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but when I saw it, I was like, this is it. This is it. This is happening. All right, let's see what we have in the chat here. Um, we got the tribe watching from Florida. We got we got Adu. We got Douglas. I'm gonna use Douglas. Hi, good evening. I'm watching from Ghana. What are some of the things I need to set up a live stream setup for a church? Okay, so depending on where you are at right now, if you're starting out, um, it all depends. Like the answer is always it depends. So if you're starting out from scratch, obviously with a little budget, you're gonna need a camera for sure. Um, and again, if you don't have money, you can start with a phone. Use your phone, your iPhone, just with internet connection, go live. But that's not what I recommend for a long-term kind of live streaming setup. Now, if you have a little bit of money now, you're gonna start with before you buy a camera, by the way, you need to invest a little bit in lighting. Make sure your stage looks good. You have a little bit of light on your stage. After that, make sure your audio is good. But if you have a church, I'm assuming you already have a sound mixer, you have some microphones and stuff like that. Okay. Once that's covered, now you need to move to the camera side. So you start with your audio, lighting, and then get a camera and a computer. A computer, if you are on a budget, again, you can get a computer that can handle OBS. OBS is a free software. You can use OBS to live stream anything, anywhere, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, even TikTok or Instagram. And yeah, and that's it. Get OBS and then get a computer and a camera. You can start with the camera, one camera with a capture card, something called the capture card. But again, this is a huge topic. If it's your first time, it may be overwhelming. So feel free to reach out to me. I can give you some guidance depending on what you need exactly, depending on your budget. But you really need to get a computer, work on your audio, lighting, get a computer, use a software like OBS, which is free, and then get a camera with a capture card. If you want to use multiple cameras, you can get multiple cameras. Of course, the cameras that you get, they need to have HDMI or SDI output, right? Because you need to connect your cameras to what's called the switcher that's going to switch multiple cameras. So that's what I would say if you're starting out. But again, everything depends on how much you want to invest in your live streaming. You could start with just one camera and a cheap capture card and just go live. Or you could start with your phone, right? Maybe with a computer, with some graphics. So like, or you could start with like some black magic, crazy good switchers, right? Like something like the ATEM Extreme ISO with 8 cameras, black magic cameras, maybe broadcast cameras. So it all depends on how much you want to allocate to your live streaming. All right. So I hope I gave you an idea, but feel free to ask more questions for sure. Let's see who else we have here. So the tribe says price will come down soon. I hope so, cause man, like $500 is. It says, oh, inflation. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, there's inflation. We also don't have a lot of money to spend on stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I know a lot of people are super, super excited about this device, and I was excited too. I'm still excited. I just feel like it should have been like around $350 or 400 max. The tribe said 250. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting Rode to kind of release something that would cost something like, around $250. Why not? Maybe with the one input. I wouldn't even mind if it was one input for $350. With all the juicy, maybe one input is not enough. But yeah, two inputs. Come on, man. Come on, Rode. You can do it. Yeah, so yeah. But I feel like Rode, somebody said on online that Rode is like the Apple kind of audio version. So I think they're targeting a certain market. It could be that as well. So not for everybody. Sorry. Um, so the tribe says unless it comes with a off promotion. Yeah, it could be that too. $100 off promotion. So they want us to be like super like, oh my god, this is too much. And then when they take $100 down, we'll be like, yes, thank you, Rode, and everybody's gonna rush to buy it. It could be that too. Um, so it's cheap plastic from China. They are gorging and playing on streamers' dreams. I mean, yeah, you could say that too. I mean, a lot of stuff are actually made in China. So, but so far they got the best technology, so they have the right to charge whatever they want. Um, it's a Kuga Mini Soccer. We are watching from South Africa and love the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here. Um, All right, so we got a few questions. Before we get to the next questions, guys, I want to jump real quick to the next device, um, which is this one right here, the Streamer X. This one right here, because this is
For solo gamers and streamers. It has one XLR quarter-inch combo input in the back, headphone output with dedicated volume control, 4 pads for sound effect and music, HDMI in and through, 2 USB-C port to power external USB devices, and 1 USB-C port to power it itself. Streamer X seems to be a great option for streamers and gamers who want to get their content out to their audience easily and without hassle or problems. Now let's quickly talk about the wireless Mi. This is a 2% wireless.
all right. So the Streamer X, what do I think about it? Okay, we're gonna get to the pricing as well. I think this is an all-in-one solution for streamers. I think um this is a perfect solution for most people. Most people, okay, not everybody. But if you're streaming and you need to get your video in, or let's say even if you are on the go, maybe you have a microphone like this one, an XLR microphone, just pack the Streamer X, and then your laptop, right? You can go live from anywhere in a hotel room, just, connect your camera, your HDMI camera into one box and your microphone into one box and go live or start recording because it actually does take 4K. I think it's a good, it was a good idea. It still is actually a good idea. Um, However, and you're getting all the preamps from Rode and everything. I think it's a good idea actually. I think it's a great device, and I think it's kind of futuristic. However, I still think it's not. Most people would need more than one HDMI input. In my opinion, most people are going to need more than one HDMI input. So I feel like yeah, some people are going to buy it, but I don't know if it's gonna be super popular. However, it could be a start of something bigger, right? Something like imagine combining your ATEM Mini Pro with something like a Rodecaster Pro or the Rodecaster Duo, right? That has two XLR inputs. So imagine having 4 HDMI inputs, something like on the ATEM Mini Pro, combined with 2 XLR inputs, which the ATEM Mini Pro actually has 2 XLR inputs, right? And then keep the small form factor, hoping it's not gonna overheat and explode. Right? Keep the small form factor. So imagine having 3 HDMI or 4 HDMI inputs and 1 HDMI output for sure, and then 2 XLR inputs and all the juicy like USB ports and everything that you get from the Rodecaster Pro 2 or the Rodecaster Streamer X, whatever, like all the audio part and the pads and everything. So the device could be like something like the ATEM Mini Pro, but a little bigger, right? Just a little bigger and a little thicker that can fit in your, in your bag or something. I think that would be perfect. Even if we can get maybe two, because most streamers are going to need just one capture card, but you get to a point where maybe you need to add a second camera or you need to add an overhead camera or something, right? Unless you're a gamer. I think even gamers, sometimes they need to input more than just, you need to input maybe your PC, right? You want to add a second PC, and then add your mic, not your microphone, of course, your microphone, and maybe your camera, right? Instead of using a webcam. So I feel like maybe 2 HDMI inputs will be perfect, or 3 plus your XLR input. That's the only thing that I would say. But other than that, I think the device and the idea behind the device, I think, is amazing. And I think it has a future for sure. Now, let's take a quick look at the pricing. So looking at the pricing here, we have, let's see, that's me. You don't want to see me. So it's called the RODECASTER Streamer X. It's not even the RODECASTER. I think it's just Streamer X. It's Rode X, Streamer X audio interface and video streaming console. So this is what it looks like, guys. This is a good idea. This is a futuristic. You got all the sound pads and everything here, which is great. Look at this. This is really good. This is a good idea. This is super exciting, and kudos to Rode for inventing this thing. This is amazing. This is amazing. I approve 100%. This is amazing. Okay, this is a good idea, 100%, hands down. This is a good idea. This is a good idea. Now, I feel like it's still not enough. Maybe the standard, I think, should be 2 inputs, 2 HDMI inputs. I think that would be perfect. And then 1 pass-through or 1 output. I think that would be perfect. And then even if we keep 1 XLR input, assuming this is going to be for 1 content creator, I think this will be perfect. I think this will be perfect. This will be perfect with 2 HDMI. But other than that, the pricing still... Because the reason why I need 2 inputs on this one, I'm assuming somebody who's maybe a podcaster, right? And you want to take this thing on the go, right? So you want to get to a place where you can actually have maybe at least 1 extra guest, right? You want to be able to plug in your microphone and a second microphone for your guest speaker, right? Because you see a lot of podcasters do that, especially if you go to events and you want to maybe interview, say, your creators, your favorite creators there, you meet them there, you want to do a quick interview with them. So having 2 microphone inputs and then have 2 HDMI inputs for your camera, if you're doing a video podcast, I think would be perfect. Now, for the pricing, I'm still not sure. I still feel like it's kind of overpriced for what it's offering. For $400, I feel like it's kind of just a little tiny overpriced. But again, as I think was Tribe was suggesting, maybe Rode is going to drop the pricing a little. But this is just a good idea. You got all the sound pads, so you can have your intros, outros here, which is awesome. Your sound effects here, everything ready. Your microphone, your headphones, and everything. Like, this is just a good idea. This is futuristic, and I think I'm assuming Rode is gonna continue to work on this product and make it better for users. So that's that. All right, I'm gonna get to your questions little quick. Let's see what we got before we get to the camera. Oh, you know what? Let me get to the camera and then we're gonna get to your questions for sure. So next up, we have this camera right here. Where is our friend Aaron here? There we go. So we have this shot here. I'm not gonna go to we have this shot here from Aaron. I don't know if some of you guys follow Aaron. You should follow him. He's a cool dude, and he's always sharing some good stuff. Now, Hollyland has come up with new streaming cameras, and these are 100%, 1000% futuristic. Okay, let's watch.
Monitor, it's a touch screen. You can log into your Facebook and YouTube account on the camera itself and push directly to those platforms.
I'm gonna have to restart because
also
it's
a handful
short.
of ports on the back, so you can connect.
I'm the only one in the studio. When Blackmagic announced the new console, I'm the only one in the.
I'm here at the Hollyland booth at NAB, checking out a couple of the new Hollyland cameras. That's right, cameras. That's new. I hadn't seen that before. Want to give me a quick description of the 2 cameras we're holding here?
Yeah, so I'm holding the Venus Air and you are holding the Venus Pro. These are going to be specifically made for streaming. This camera is going to be able to have the functionality to stream directly to YouTube, Facebook, and this guy that you're holding has the built-in monitor and battery port.
So with this one, you got the monitor, it's a touch screen. You can log into your Facebook and YouTube account on the camera itself.
Correct.
And push directly to those platforms. Yep. Also a handful of ports on the back so you can connect it to regular video switchers, of course.
This is the future, guys. This is the future. The future is here. This is the future. So this is a camera. Of course, I don't know the specs and all the how big is the sensor and everything, how the camera does in low light. But I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about all of that. Okay, what I care about at this point, I care about the idea. So what they are doing, actually, if you guys follow Tony at some point, he talked about it and I agree with him. The idea is to combine, you know how good cell phones are, like the interface, the user experience on our cell phones is just amazing. It's just good. Android, iOS, it doesn't matter. Now they took that and they combined it with an actual camera. So they took the phone's interface into an actual camera, which is something that camera manufacturers should be doing right now, because the cameras that we're using, like, you know, whatever camera you have right now, the user interface, like the menu thing is just outdated. It's just not so good compared to like the kind of technology now we have with our phones. So what they're doing, they took an actual, it's like taking a phone and combine it with an actual camera, with a bigger camera, and use that for streaming. So the camera has, first, it has HDMI out if you want to plug into a switcher, or SDI, I believe. Yeah, I think one has SDI. And on the top of that, it has a screen, which is like a phone. It's touch, so you can go directly to YouTube, Facebook. If you want to stream to YouTube, Facebook, it's like an actual phone, which is awesome. You can stream directly, log into your Facebook account and start streaming, or YouTube or any other streaming platform. And it's going to detect if you're using vertical video or horizontal. It's going to detect that and adjust depending on how you want to stream. This is the future, guys. This is the future. I think we're going to start seeing this kind of stuff where you can grab one or two cameras. You can even connect maybe two different cameras together and be able to stream using one of the cameras' actual interface. Go directly, no capture card needed, no computer needed. We're gonna have some cool apps where you can even see your comments coming in, something like the Yellow Box, but more like a Yellow Box combined with the camera, and it's gonna be even a little smaller. Like, this is the future. The future is here, guys. This is the future. Kudos to Hollyland for making these cameras, because this is the future. For sure, for sure. All right, let's take a look at the chat. I don't want to ignore you guys. So let's see what we have here. Okay, the tribe says, what is the minimum video card you recommend? Okay, so what do you mean by video card? Do you mean a capture card, or graphics card, or can you? Oh, you mean GPU. Okay, so like, to be honest, without being super techy, it depends on what you're trying to do. For streaming, actually, you don't need like a dedicated graphics card. Even though it's good to have it, but I actually learned it from my friend. You don't need a dedicated graphics card for streaming, because most of the time you're not gonna be using it. Right, but if you're doing a lot of recordings and everything, yes, you may need a dedicated graphics card, but for most part, just any graphics card that you may have in your computer may work, right? That's for streaming, though. That's for streaming. Now, if you're editing videos, that's a different story. So yeah, so but I would say don't want to be super techy, but most of the time for me, what I do and what I tell a lot of people is just to go get any gaming computer that you can get on the market. It usually should handle like any streaming software, like, because software, they keep updating softwares and stuff like that. So yeah, that, like, gaming computers are super powerful. And any gaming computer should be able to handle whatever you're trying to do when it comes to streaming, right? And when it comes to GPUs and stuff like that. So let's see. Say so yes, again, if it's just for streaming, like any graphics card should do the job. Now, once you start editing videos, I recommend, again, depending on your budget, I recommend trying to get something that was designed for gaming. Any GPU that was designed for gaming, usually it should do the job. Depending on which software you're gonna be using. Like, I don't know if if you're using Mac, you don't even have to worry about like GPUs and stuff like that, because with the Mac Mini, the new Mac Mini with the new chip, what is it called? M1. Sorry. With the M1 chip, you can do like video editing, run Premiere Pro. I don't know how DaVinci, but if you use Final Cut, it's even better because it's native to Apple. So that's for sure. And any recommended camera for starters? How much money you want to spend on your camera? Because that's the thing. I have a camera here that I recommend. Let me actually see if I can get you something right now. So before we get into the so there's a camera that I recommend. Let's go to Amazon.com. I don't know if you show up on Amazon, but just gonna show you little quick. Amazon.com. All right. So we're gonna do a quick search, and it's gonna be Panasonic G85. All right, so this is one of the cameras that I would actually recommend if you're on a budget. Now, as you can see, this camera is around, it comes with the lens. If you buy just the body, you may get it for $500. Okay, this is a 4K camera. It's a micro four third camera. It may not be super wow in low light, but this is gonna do the job. All right, for starters. Okay, if you think you're gonna be relying on autofocus, this is not gonna be super wow for autofocus. But this camera has in-body stabilization. If you get a good lens for it, I actually recommend you don't get the kit lens, the lens that comes with it. Just type in, just buy the body and then buy a separate lens. Okay, just get the body, right? It's like the body. You can simply buy the body, all right? You can also, so if you go to eBay, you may find it cheaper. So this is the camera that I recommend the most for beginners, especially if you are on budget and if you don't care about autofocus. This camera is not going to overheat. Say Panasonic G85. Let's type in body. So if you go to eBay, as you can see, you can find it used for $500, $400, $446, $449, $450. So like you can find it for under $500, and this is a 4K camera. So this is just to show you like you can consider buying a used and get a lens that it's going to fit your needs. So this is what I will actually recommend for starting out for sure. And if you need autofocus or if you need something that's going, if you know your lighting is not so great, I recommend going for like full frame cameras or APS-C sensors. And that's mostly things like the Sony A6400, maybe 6400, right? So you see it's gonna cost you around, without the lens, just the body, like this one on eBay, it's around $800, right? So Sony A6400 could be another perfect choice for beginners, for starting out. A6400, or if you want to go full frame, you can, and you need autofocus, consider some Sony cameras. So always recommend Sony or Panasonic. Canon, I feel like Canon is kind of overpriced a little bit for most people. unless budget money is not a problem for you, then yeah, try Sony as well. Okay, so that's what I would recommend for most of you guys. um Again, this is super subjective, depends on your situation, your budget, your lighting. So what kind of lens, what the kind of room that you're working with. So sometimes it's not easy to just like give the perfect answer. Some people better use like things like PTZ cameras, right? I have a PTZ camera there in the back that will, yeah, actually you can sit in the back and you kind of zoom in and out, and without having to worry about getting an extra lens and or getting a camera operator kind of operating the camera. Somebody can control 5 PTZ cameras sitting in the back. So it really depends on your needs. So let's see. The tribe says, yeah, it's one input. I think you were talking about the Streamer X. And tribe says, oh, we got Jean is in the chat from New York. That's my friend Jean. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. We have another comment here. Can you give tips on live streaming for sporting events? So yeah, I can. And actually maybe this camera will be perfect in the future for sporting events. Let's go back to this video here, and then I'm gonna finish with your questions. So yeah, so this is
HDMI out, SD card for recording.
So this is awesome. Okay, check this out. So you have HDMI out, you have your network connection for connecting your Ethernet cable. So imagine if you're streaming. I mean, again, this camera is not out yet, but this is the future, especially for sporting events. So you have your access to internet. So you connect the camera directly to internet. You have the screen on the camera, so that means you can go live directly, and you can use Wi-Fi if you want to use Wi-Fi, and you can actually use a switcher because you have HDMI out at the same time.
Microphone in, even USB microphone in, which I think is a pretty cool little.
You have a microphone in if you are maybe kind of a reporter, you want to do a reporter kind of style, you can do that as well, right? You have a microphone in, and you have USB microphone in. If you're using a USB microphone, that's like, oh my god, this is just like too good to be true.
Little trick. And it's got the tripod screw on the bottom and the side, so you can mount it horizontal or vertical.
Now it doesn't have interchangeable lens. Okay, that's not perfect. It's not perfect.
Exactly. So any TikTok, Instagram, you can do verticals. Perfect.
Super cool. Thanks.
So the camera is called the Hollyland Venus, something like that. So again, it's probably they're going to announce it eventually pretty soon. We're gonna see when the cameras come out. But I feel like this is the future. Now, for what we have now, because the cameras are not out, but I feel like these are going to be perfect cameras for outdoors and sports. If I go back to your question, my best tips that I can actually give you, first of all, is to get good lenses. Now, if you're somebody who's comfortable with PTZ cameras, that's one something that I would suggest. Now, the problem with PTZ cameras, you have to power them with something like an Ethernet cable, which may be limiting a little bit. And another thing is, so for cameras, maybe you need to get video cameras, are mostly ideal because you can easily zoom in and out. If you want to go with mirrorless and DSLR cameras, make sure you have good lenses that can zoom in and zoom out easily, no problem. And when it comes to your switcher, the perfect tool is to get something called the YOLO box. YOLO box is amazing. One, because it's portable. Two, let me actually Google it if you haven't heard about the YOLO box. YOLO box is perfect for sports. Let's go to the YOLO box. Let's go back to Amazon here and type in YOLO box Pro. So this is what the yellow box is gonna look like. I have one here, but it's kind of too far. I don't want to grab it, but I'll show you another day. So the yellow box is gonna be perfect for sports because first of all, it's gonna allow you to plug in full HDMI camera, right? Which is awesome. And you can multi-stream, so you can stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, even custom RTMP, which is awesome. And it's actually battery powered, so you can just charge it and then you can use it over battery, which is awesome, right? And then on the top of that is super small, it's portable, it's like a little bigger than my iPhone, but it's gonna look like mostly it's just a little bigger, something like this size kind of thing. And yeah, and you can have your score, like you got a built-in scoreboard, which is awesome, right? You can have like all the graphics that you want. This is just a quick example. You guys can see what it looks like. Like, this is just perfect. You can even bring in guests if you wanna. Maybe you wanna do like this reporter kind of style. You can have someone remotely come in by sending them a link, and they can join you. And then if you have somebody maybe doing some commentary, I mean, you could do that kind of stuff. So like the yellow box, I think, is the perfect device for when it comes to sports. You won't need a computer, just your yellow box, your cameras, and you're good to go. Now, if you need to power some cameras, another tip that I will actually give you, or if you want to plug in the yellow box, if you don't have access to power, you can buy some built-in batteries. Let me give you an example. There's what is it called? Geniverse home power station. Yeah, it could be something like this one here, right? There's one by jQuery portable power station, right? You can buy something like this, so in case you're out of power, you are in a place where you don't have access to power, this thing can actually power you, right? Maybe power your yellow box, or if you need to charge it, right? And yeah, and in most of this stuff, I mean, they're not like, I don't know how much this one is, but most of them, like, can find one maybe for $1,000, $600, depending on how much power you need, right? But this could be like your backup power kind of thing, right? And that's pretty much it, guys. So that's how you can build a sporting events. Now you can have maybe a laptop on the side. If you're gonna be in places where you have access to power, you can have a laptop. You can Oh, by the way, you can even stream from your iPhone. Now let me show you. There's a new device that I have actually reviewed on the channel. If you think the yellow box is a little expensive, because the yellow box cost around $1,000, actually more than $1,000, I think like 1,100 or something. Although they have the mini version, there's less expensive, but it has also less inputs, right? So, but find it. Where is it? There we go. So if you wanted to kind of like use your iPhone, your phone, you can use something like this. This is the Axon Simo, which is a little device that will turn your iPhone into a monitor, and it will allow you to connect an HDMI camera. So in that case, if you're doing some sports, maybe I would recommend use something like the ATEM Mini Pro, which will cost you the actual ATEM Mini, which will cost you around $200, and then connect up to 4 cameras, and then send the signal from the ATEM Mini Pro into something like this, and this will send an HDMI signal into your iPhone. And that's pretty much it. Now you can stream directly from your phone to YouTube, Facebook. You can use your phone's data. You can even do maybe combine Wi-Fi with your phone's data, which is amazing. Now with the yellow box can actually take a SIM card, can take Wi-Fi, and it has a port where you can actually connect an actual Ethernet cable, which is great. So you have so many options. Like, technology is just getting so good that we got no excuses. So I think that was a helpful Tokori Foster says looks cute. We got the tribe says I like the minimalistic setup. You could use a professional audio mixer or video switcher to expand it as needed. True, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. So if you wanna add more for the Streamer X, then use like something like the ATEM Mini Pro or the ATEM Mini, and then get 4 inputs into the device, and then yeah, I mean that's an option. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, so why go through the hassle, like getting the device if you have to add an extra device to get more inputs? It's just like, okay, I'm gonna get the Rodecaster Pro and then plug into the Streamer X, the output into. But I think it's a good point though. I think you're right. I think, yeah, I think you're right. It makes sense. Yeah, that's an option. The Trump says 400 is still too high, and apparently so is Rode. Yeah, I think $200 is a little too much, in my opinion. It should cost a little less. So I don't know. Maybe Rode is focusing on certain you know clientele type. So I don't know, or maybe they're going to reduce prices after watching this stream. The drive says client server setup for live streaming sounds great. Client plus server setup for live streaming sounds great. Thank you for the GPU insight. Yeah, do not overthink it for GPU when it comes to streaming. Do not overthink it, to be honest. Focus on your RAM, good RAM. At least get 16 or 32. Focus on your CPU, good CPU. But again, depending on the software that you're going to be using, try to just Google. Usually they will tell you, like, whoever made the software, they'll tell you the minimum system requirements. Follow that. Try to double it, just to, maybe if they require 4 gig of RAM, try to get 8. If they require 8, try to get 16. If they require 16, try to get 32. That's how I do things. Yeah, that should be. And then try to get something that can support. If you're using Windows, try to get something that can support Windows 11. The latest iOS, whatever OS. Okay. EcoFlow has ever better products. Probably, you're right. So many companies, to be honest. Now it's a thing. So portable power stations, I think EcoFlow has good ones. jQuery has good one. Geniverse, I've worked with Geniverse before. I have few battery power stations here that eventually I'm gonna review them for streamers. So yeah, so many choices, to be honest, out there. So Tribe says the Streamer X is good entry-level product that can be extended as needed. I agree with you 100%. They just need to lower the price to meet the market. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a good idea for the very, very first product of its kind. I think they can do better when it comes to pricing. So hopefully, yeah, I think it's kind of overpriced. Maybe eventually, when the bigger brothers are going to come out, the price is gonna go a little lower, and yeah, so hopefully maybe it's gonna get to 300, something like between 200. I feel like all the products that they announced, they're kind of like $150 overpriced. That's how I see it. I feel like the Streamer X should be at $250, would be reasonable, and the Rodecaster Duo should be at $350. That's the ideal pricing for me. Now, I wouldn't mind paying an extra $50 on each product, so $400 for the Rodecaster Duo, and $300 for the Streamer X, because it can record in 4K, which is great as well. So Um, okay, we got Jin Lee dropping some advice in the chat here about the RAM, Windows, and everything. SSD, that's a good point. Get an SSD as well. Say computer streaming specs, yeah, get an SSD. The tribe says the Streamer X should be $200. I mean, again, this is subjective. It depends on everybody would have their opinion, but $200 it wouldn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't hurt. So yeah, I agree. $200. But okay, to be fair, I think there's a lot of technology kind of built into it because they're copying some of the stuff from the Rodecaster Pro, their signature product, right? The Rodecaster Pro 2. They're kind of copying and pasting those features and juicy technology into that device. So to be fair, I feel like even $250 is not bad. 250, around 200, 250, $300 max. $300 max. $300 max. It should be the maximum. So like we're talking about like the time they announced it at $300, after 1 year, we could see some promotions maybe on Amazon, $50 off at some point, for Black Friday, $70 off. So you like at some point you could get it for like $230, $220, 200 and like $70, that kind of thing. So that's how I see it. So yeah, that's my take. Let's see. Considering it's not pro, 250 retail. Yeah, like I mean, it's yeah, like yeah. It makes sense between $200 and $300 in that range. I think it will be fair. So that's that. So guys, we're getting to the end of the stream. I hope this was helpful. Again, this was just me talking about some of the exciting stuff that I saw being announced. Okay, obviously I'm super excited about these cameras from Hollyland. I believe Hollyland Venus. Let me check again the names here.
I'm here at the Hollyland booth at NAB checking out a couple of the new Hollyland cameras. That's right, cameras.
Yeah, it's called Venus Air, and Venus Pro, I believe. So I think those cameras are super exciting, futuristic, and I'm excited to see them come out. Now I can see this because I don't know how good the lenses are, because the way it looks, it's like they don't have interchangeable lenses. They're gonna have fixed lenses, which is okay for most people. I don't know how good they will be in low light and stuff like that, but that's okay. That's not a problem. Most webcams don't do well in low light, so you kind of need to add, to have good lighting and stuff like that. I don't mind. But eventually, I believe that's just the start. So eventually, we're gonna start seeing maybe Sony or DJI or some other companies, or maybe Rode too. Rode maybe is gonna get into the camera market because now they're making capture cards. So who knows, right? So making new cameras where you can have like changeable lens, you can have like a user kind of interface that looks like your actual phone. Maybe they're kind of like Android based kind of thing, where you can actually with your camera you can easily go live to Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform, YouTube that you want, and like be able to change the lens to like if you wanna use a tight lens, tight focal length kind of lens, do that. If you want to use a wide angle lens, do that. Be able to connect multiple cameras together to create a multi-angle kind of production. And instead of using a switcher, maybe using one of the camera's screen to switch, which is awesome. Like this is just the beginning. I feel like this is super exciting, and kudos to Hollyland for making these cameras. But other than that, Rode has come up with good products, super impressive. Still feel like the pricing is not fair, but it is what it is. I'm still super excited about these products from Rode, so we'll see. The tribe says, great stream. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. Hollyland is a game changer. I agree with you 100%. Heard it here first. Awesome. Wide telephoto zoom adapters will be made. Yes, we'll see what's gonna happen when it comes to lenses and stuff like that, but I'm super excited. And yeah, network switching, or maybe the ability to be able to use your phone maybe to control all the cameras through an app or something, it would be awesome. By the way, guys, before I leave, I don't know if you guys have checked out my video about this Axon Simo device. Now they have partnered with a company called what is it called, Switcher Studio. Now I have never tested Switcher Studio, but the what the Switcher Studio does is he actually, I think, he uses an iOS application or app to control multiple iPhones. So you can, if you have like 4 iPhones, you can connect them together over network and use them to capture or to stream or to create a multi-camera kind of production using your iPhones. So but the thing is, that app was kind of limited to using only iPhones, right? So using iPhone's cameras. But now they have partnered with Axon, and you can actually now add the Axon into the Switcher Studio production, which is exciting because you can connect your iPhone to an actual switcher and then bring it into Switcher Studio. And that's going to allow you to use an actual traditional camera with like normal lenses and everything, which is awesome. So that what that means is you can actually use your A10 mini sorry, your A10 mini Pro, maybe connect up to 4 cameras, run through Switcher Studio, through Axon Simo, send the signal into Switcher Studio, maybe using an iPad or something, and that's going to allow you to use the app to be able to to kind of switch multiple cameras through the app. So you don't need a computer, using your iPad, your iPhone, because the app runs on iOS. Now, when I did the review, you guys can check it out. I wished Axon Simo, because Axon Simo, what it allows you, it allows you to go directly live to YouTube, Facebook, basically no graphics, no comments, no countdown timer, stuff like that. So it's kind of limited as an application. So I hope in the future they're going to allow some multi-streaming or kind of mobile streaming apps. Like I know Streamlabs has an app. I know Prism Studio is a great app for streaming as well. But those apps are going to use your native camera from the iPhone. So if there was a way that Axon will actually allow those apps to use the Axon camera, that would mean you could bring your A10 Mini Pro multi-camera kind of switching into something like the Streamlabs mobile app, and that's going to allow you to create a professional stream using your iPhone and your actual camera or multiple cameras with something like the A10 Mini Pro on the go anywhere without needing a computer. So like the future is mind-blowing, so many cool ideas, and I'm excited for next year or maybe the end of this year. We're gonna see more products, new things being invented, and it's gonna be exciting. So I'm here for it. All right, guys, thank you so much. I think we went over the time. Today was kind of super too exciting. So thank you for hanging out with me. By the way, guys, we're doing a giveaway. If you're not part of it, we're doing a giveaway, giving away our PTZ camera over there in the back. So you want to make sure you actually join my Facebook page for more updates on the giveaway. We have a few days left. We have 9 days left. If you have not entered, you can go to my website at Live Production Tips and Tools. I'm gonna drop it in the chat for more info. liveproductiontips.com. Sorry, I'm just gonna drop in the chat for you guys /giveaways. And let me see. So if you guys want to check it out, if you want to win a free camera, and don't forget to join my Facebook group as well for updates about the giveaway. So it's liveproductiontips.com, and let's go. I'm just gonna drop in the chat for you guys, and I'm gonna leave you alone. I'll see you probably next time on another video or another live stream. So that's the link to the giveaway page on my website. That's liveproductiontips.com/giveaways. And we have a few days. We have about 9 days left, and super excited. So guys, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you probably next week. Try to be live every Friday if I can. So hopefully I'll see you next week. All right. But other than that, you can enjoy my videos. Obviously, I have a lot of videos on the channel. And feel free to reach out to me if you have questions. If you need a personal consultation, I do that as well. But if you have general questions, feel free to join my community over at Facebook. It's called Live Streaming Help Facebook group, where you can drop the questions and the community may respond to you, or I may personally actually respond to you if I can help. I'm always happy to help. So that's that. All right. So Jean says, I can't wait to get my Evicans PTZ camera. Good luck, my friend. And my man, the tribe, my man. I say my man. I don't know if you're a man. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to assume you're a man. So my man, the tribe, says, hit that like button. Yes, that's right. Hit that like button. If you're watching on a replay, hit that like button as well, and leave me a comment if you have questions or something to say about what we discussed today. But other than that, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Peace.